Hopefully you have seen the first part of this video in which we talked about the signs of a dead-end relationship. Yes, we thought we'd deal with that because some people do not even realize they're in relationships going nowhere. It is important that you assess your relationship and know if you're in the right one. Okay, so today we've come your way with the other part of it. We'll be telling you why some ladies hang on to dead-end relationships. As we thought about it, we said some men might also be in this kind of relationships.
Yes.
So it's just important that you feel free to share it with anyone you know who would need it. Hey, we're happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us. I am Chidi Akunna.
And I'm Victor Akunna.
If you're new to your channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. And thank you to all our returning subscribers. So let's talk about why some ladies hang on to dead-end relationships.
There are different reasons why a lady or a guy may hanging on to a dead-end relationship. Sometimes it's because of low self-esteem. So when you come from a relationship or from a family that's they've knocked out the wind away from yourself. You're just like a boat that doesn't have a wind. You know, without the wind, the wind is what propels the boats to do, you know, to go from point A to point B. So you see people, I mean, they're beautiful, you know, they're handsome, but they don't believe that they're competent. They don't believe that they're enough. So if such a person who doesn't believe that they have something to offer, they are enough, end up being in a relationship, somebody just says hi to them and they end up being in a relationship, sometimes an abusive relationship. So, and you're wondering, why is this person not existing? Because they don't feel that they are worthy of finding somebody better. So you look at them from the outside, you'll be like, this is like a model, gorgeous. But within, they see skeleton of dead members. That's how they see themselves. So when people have low self-esteem, when people have a low self-image, most times they stay in an abusive relationship because they don't feel that they are worthy of a good relationship.
Okay, so the point would be for security.
Yes.
Some ladies just like the idea of being in a relationship, just knowing that there is someone. At least I'm with him. Okay, it would be such a hassle to go looking for somebody else, and some would rather not be alone. That concern of being on their own would often scare them. So you find this when people enroll on our intimacy builder program for singles. We hear this sometimes because in the course of it, when they've gone through and created their avatar of a spouse, a potential spouse, you then ask them, the person you're in a relationship with, does he fit this image? And they say no. So why are you hanging in there? And sometimes they'll tell you, oh, I've been with him for so long, so it's going to, if there are, for those who are really honest, I would say it would be a long walk to find somebody else. You know, it's sad when you see this, but then I think we need to be thinking about the future. You know, if you end up with this person in marriage, what kind of relationship would you have?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people are so scared of being alone that they are happy to be in a toxic relationship. All right, so that's one. That fear of abandonment, that fear of loneliness, you know, I mean, you have to work. You have to, what we often say to single people, to singles, is that before you get into a relationship, you have to you have to become a whole person, a healthy person, someone that can enjoy their own company.
Absolutely.
If you are not that healthy emotionally, I don't think you should get into a relationship. Because you're going to be trying to draw something from a relationship that it cannot give to you. A sense of identity, a sense of you-ness. No, that can only come from within. That can only come from your interaction with God. No human being external can give you a sense of identity. You have to find it from within you. So if you don't have it, you're going to be looking for it in the wrong places. Nobody can do that for you. So another thing is that sometimes people don't know what they want. So if you don't know what you want, every guy will look like it, every lady will look like it. You have to sit down and say, who am I actually? Where am I going? What are my core values? What is my purpose? That's when you now begin to look for a partner to help you move in that direction. But if you've not done the basic clarity session, if you've not clarified who you are in the world, if you've not clarified what your voice is, if you've not clarified what industry are supposed to make an impact, anybody in your space, as long as she's fine, beautiful, does ticks all the other boxes, but that might not be the person that is appropriate for you. It's like an organization that wants to hire an employee. The first thing they have to do is that, what need is this person coming to fill? They have to have a vision for that role. If they don't have a vision for that role, anybody that looks well, has a good degree, they will hire. But you have to have what we call in HR person specification. Who is the spec for you? If you don't know that, anybody can fit into that space. And that's why some people now, when they now discover themselves, they find out that they have ended up with the wrong person. Then a new issue begins to erupt.
Yes. Okay. So another point would be financial dependency.
Yes.
Okay. Some people just like the idea of having somebody who is their cash cow.
Yeah, sponsor.
Yes. So this person, whenever I'm in need, just gives me all I need.
Yeah.
All right. I think I saw this conversation on social media the other time, and somebody was saying there's nothing wrong with that. People decide what they want from a relationship.
True.
And they're going, that's true. But if you are feeling like you're stuck in the relationship, then that's not you. You're not the person that post or that talk on social media was referring to. All right. So what that means is, if you find that you're already financially dependent to this person, so somehow you like the security that comes from it, then what steps can you take to be financially independent? Right. Because sometimes we shut ourselves with this, shut ourselves to ideas, great ideas, with behaviors like this. You are just okay with somebody giving to you, but the day you wake up and you say to yourself, no, I want to be someone who gives to others, you'll be surprised at the avalanche of ideas that will hit your mind. Yes.
Sometimes, because people depend, not all the time, I say sometimes, because people depend on other people for money like that, they tolerate very bad behaviors, very toxic, controlling, demeaning behaviors. All right. So I say to people all the time, you can't talk about freedom without financial freedom. Africa as a continent cannot talk about freedom without financial freedom. Until they can stand on their feet, generate resources, being productive, they are not free. So until you as an individual, you're financially free, you're not free. So sometimes people are in a relationship where the guy is cheating, is abusive, he behaves the way he likes because, he's paying the bills. So the guy just sees the lady, or vice versa sometimes, as just a furniture that they can buy and change and upgrade. No, you have to get to that point where you are treated as a human being, not as a furniture. Even furniture, they have warranty. People treat them well these days. So that's very, very important for you to be able to be that individual who can hold your space, who can stand on your 2 feet.
Yes. Okay. So another point which I think you should talk about would be societal or cultural pressure. Oh yes. We hear this sometimes, and some people feel like I'm always being reminded that my biological clock is ticking. So I just have to be in this relationship, even though they know it's the wrong one. All right. But at least it gives them some peace to be able to tell whoever's bringing the pressure on that I am in something. There's somebody, and that's so sad.
Especially if you have very intrusive families.
Yes.
Families where for some reason you have to plan, get together every end of the year, or some people will just drag the guy to that venue, be like, no, I'm not going there alone this year. Somebody has to go with me, and they just drag the guy even though the relationship is struggling. It's not about the relationship right now. It's about getting through this 1 week. I'm going to stay with these people. All right. So that's one. Two, there are some cultures that apply more pressure than others. So, for example, I was watching a video on Instagram the other day, and a Chinese lady was saying that in Cantonese, she was saying in Cantonese and in Mandarin, what it means for a lady that is over 30 that's not married, how they describe them. And she used some very, very, very mean words. So, for example, the orange at the bottom of the bag.
Wow.
The forgotten orange.
Wow.
You know, and then she said some other thing I can't really remember. And then she said for a man that is a bachelor that is over 30, not married, it's called pure diamond. But for the lady, it's seen as leftover, forgotten, abandoned. This mindset reflects many cultures that are closely knit, what we call collectivist culture, where everybody is engaged, everybody's business, yes. Kind of situation. So African culture has something similar. Some ladies are respected more because they are wearing Mrs. ring. All right, so you see some ladies, they go and put the ring there just to earn some respect in society. So they are not respected because of their achievements. They are not respected because of their contribution to society. They are respected because of their last name. That's really, really bad. So really, so you see that kind of pressure.
The title, you mean?
That they're title because sometimes acquired title. Yeah, sometimes they change their last name. So that's the reason. That's why they're not respected as human beings. They're respected based on their title, on their last name, and that is highly demeaning. So those kind of societal pressures can make people venture into a relationship that they know is not good for them. They're just hoping that this guy will change. Forgetting that a relationship is a combination of is a makeup of who somebody is. If the person is a bad, for example, if a soil is fundamentally bad, there are some soils you cannot grow some things on. If they're fundamentally bad, if they're not, you cannot pray that soil into growing something until you change that soil, because the texture of the soil is not designed for this. All right, so the same thing applies to humans. We create the relationship we have. So you can see in the two individuals who are having beautiful relationships because of the kind of person they are, the value system, the boundaries they've created, the adjustment they have made. That is what makes the relationship what it is.
Okay, so another point why some ladies hang on to dead-end relationships would be emotional investment. They consider the emotional investment they have made in a relationship. Some feel, oh my goodness, we've been together for God knows how long. Sometimes no one starts out like that. All right, so it gets to 6 months and then 1 year and it's 2 years, 3 years. So by the time it gets to that point, you're thinking, oh, I've poured in so much into this relationship. Do you expect me to just leave? But you cannot just continue like that. Things have to be spelled out. You have to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Let this be a year where we're truly authentic. You tell yourself the truth. This relationship is going nowhere, and I know it. I've come to recognize it. It's going to take a lot of courage for you to step up to call it off. Because some people also would feel, I don't want to be the person who calls it off. It's going nowhere. Well, how about you just do that, and then you at least know that I can now re-strategize. I can rearrange my life. Clean out.
Nature abhors vacuum. All right. So what that means is that if you are holding on to something that is not, you are not even supposed to hold on to, until you make room, a new thing will not enter your hand. So if you are holding on to a wrong relationship, a new relationship will not come into place. Why? Because other people will see you give this vibe that you're in a relationship, and guys just move on, ladies move on. So you have to be able to create that vacuum so that the nature will pull the right person in your space. But after you call it off, we always recommend don't jump into a new one. You have to do a real soul searching. You have to go through it. So sometimes we help single people to do this, singles to do this. You ask, who exactly are you? What kind of relationship do you want? Define your marriage, the kind of marriage you want, and then what kind of a guy do you need to marry to create this kind of marriage, and what kind of an individual do you need to be. So there are activities that you have to do to prepare yourself so that you don't repeat the pattern. Relationship never leave us the same.
That's true.
That relationship that you ended has rubbed off something, shifted your value system in some significant way that you may not be aware of. All right. So if you just say, you know what, I'm ditching this guy, I'm going into another relationship. You've just entered another relationship. You find out that you are just with the same guy with a different name because they behave exactly the same. That's why you see some people, they keep attracting the same kind of broken people. The problem is not those people. They are the common denominators that keep attracting crazy. If you're having the same repetitive experiences, the issue is not with the people. The issue is with you. There is something about you that is giving off the energy and attracting these people, because we are, as humans, we are also magnets. We attract people, experiences into our lives based on where we are and who we are at the point. Yeah.
Okay, so we've shared a number of points. There've been about, like, I think 7.
Yes.
I lost count at some point. Okay, so you feel free to share this with friends you think would need it. Sometimes you don't know what that person is going through, but just share it. You never know who you will be helping. If you think you have other points we need to know about, please leave them in the comment section. We'll be happy to read from you.
If you have friends you've been trying to tell that they're in a dead-end relationship, but they're not listening, send them the link.
That.
Sometimes an objective person, a different person, may be able to help them see what you are telling them.
And then feel free to connect with us. We're on YouTube if you haven't subscribed, and then on other platforms as well. All right, we're on Instagram, or Facebook, we're on Twitter. It's getting really interesting.
Click on that button.
Join us. All right, so we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.